former UFC heavyweight champion Francis Ngannou, who this week was spectacularly let go from the company after contract negotiations fell through, has finally spoken out since becoming a free agent. The MMA world has been in a frenzy since the UFC announced that Jon Jones will face Cyril Gane for the now vacant heavyweight belt. And not too many fans are buying Dana White's old "too scared to fight" adage, with pundits and ex-fighters alike joining the chorus that perhaps the amount of money or freedom just wasn't there for the huge superstar. Speaking on Ariel Helwani's MMA Hour for over an hour, Francis spoke at length about his new free agency, but some highlight quotes are, "I already knew this is how they operate, so I was not going to lose any sleep over it. Life is good, it doesn't matter that much. The last time I spoke to the UFC was Tuesday. It was me, Hunter Campbell, and Mick Maynard. They tried one last time. There was one thing that I couldn't let go. It was just principle. You know the war is on and they're coming for you. And I was wondering, did I do something wrong? But I think about it and it was like, no way." When asked how close negotiations came to actually working out, Francis said, "It's a very tough way to say it. I really hoped for this to work out. I've been in the UFC for the past 7 years and I always see myself in the UFC. Over time, I was willing to compromise over and over and over again. But at a certain point, I have to say, okay guys, give me this. And I'm not asking for the sky." In terms of sticking points in negotiations, Francis apparently asked for the right to be sponsored, health insurance, and for a fighter advocate that could work for the promotion. And the UFC denied all these things. Pretty amazing that the current heavyweight champion was denied his right to fight the light heavyweight GOAT due to some minor contractual issues. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Sean O'Malley has officially responded to claims he has been starting a personal beef with UFC featherweight Bryce Mitchell, after Sean offered the fighter $20 after he heard he was struggling financially and was forced to fight with the flu. Speaking on Bro Malley, Sean said, he said he was down to his last $2,000 and I, just being a co-worker, was like, dude, if you need $20, I'll Venmo you, I got you. He said now I'm making it personal talking about money and fighting, with Sean currently waiting to see if he will get a shot at an interim Bantamweight title while current champ Aljamain Sterling is out with a torn bicep. A cross-weight matchup between Sugar Sean and Bryce looks incredibly unlikely. How do you feel about the war of words between Sean O'Malley and Bryce Mitchell? Who would you see winning in a hypothetical matchup between the two? Let me know down below. Israel Adesanya has taken to Twitter to reveal his latest tattoo. The fighter is no stranger to the tattoo needle, but this latest tattoo is slightly more noticeable, sitting atop the fighter's eyebrow. Posting a video on Twitter, the tagline in the last Stylebender's tweet reads, "The old version of you must die before you come alive." The tattoo itself is Arabic for the word dragon, and the video posted is accompanied by audio of the Malcolm X quote, "I don't worry, I tell you, I'm a man who believes that I died 20 years ago, and I live like a man who is dead already. I have no fear whatsoever of anybody or anything." What do you make of the former champ's latest tattoo? In what would be a very strange twist of fate, Chuck Liddell has made a comment that if it came down to it, he would fight Jake Paul in MMA. Understandably, the retired legend prefaced the comment by saying, "I'm retired. I'm 53, man. Come on." But continues by saying, "But again, he's got no chance. For sure, I'd sign a contract. If he offered enough money, sure." The Iceman last returned to the cage for a perhaps ill-advised comeback fight against Tito Ortiz in 2018 and didn't look at his best, suffering a KO loss in the first round. Given that fight took place after 8 years away from the cage, you can never say never with Chuck Liddell. Paul, however, seems to be angling to fight either Nate Diaz or what would absolutely shock the world, Francis Ngannou. Now that the former UFC heavyweight champion has become a free agent, Paul has offered the Predator a 2-fight deal, with the first taking place in the boxing ring and the second in the MMA cage 6 months later. On the MMA Hour, current UFC flyweight champ Deiveson Figueiredo has made the call that he wants to move up to challenge for the Bantamweight belt and achieve double champ status. However, he said he won't go up in weight if Henry Cejudo is the champ at 135 at the time. Speaking to Ariel Helwani, he said, I want to go up to Bantamweight. I want to fight the Bantamweight champion. I won't fight Cejudo though because he is my brother. He's helped me when I need and I couldn't fight him. There is still a lot to unfold before this aspiration could become a reality though, with the Brazilian squared off to fight Brandon Moreno for the 4th time this weekend on the 22nd of January. This will be the first time in company history that 2 UFC fighters have squared off 4 times, let alone for the belt. In the 135-pound division, things are a little murkier as the current champ Aljamain Sterling is sidelined with a torn bicep, and contenders like Sean O'Malley, Marlon Vera, and retired former champ Henry Cejudo are all vying to get the chance at an interim belt. How do you see things shaking out in the 135-pound division? And who do you like this weekend between Figueiredo and Moreno? Rising star Paddy Pimblett was anticipated to return to the octagon on March 18 at UFC 286 in London, which is being headlined by the Leon Edwards-Kamaru Usman rematch. The return is now looking seriously unlikely as the fighter is now due for ankle surgery in March. According to his latest video blog, the UFC lightweight suffered the damage in his last outing against Jared Gordon, where he scored a razor-thin decision victory. Speaking in Pimblett's video, a doctor can be heard saying, "Looks like you have got a small amount of cartilage. The other thing you've got is all this white stuff around here. That's all fluid, and what all the swelling is, when we look at the ligaments which joins from your fibula, you've probably got what we call a grade 2 injury." Pimblett has been on the receiving end of more criticism than usual following his decision victory over Jared Gordon, with the likes of ex-fighters such as Michael Bisping even commenting, saying, "I think what Paddy needs to do is just humble himself a little bit. Stop with this 'I'm the new cash cow.' When I asked him who he would want to fight next, I don't need to say anyone's name because I'm the man. I'm the boy, I'm the cash cow. And you're yet to fight someone ranked. When you're dominating people, it's all well and good. When you're scraping by a victory, it doesn't have the same effect, and it starts to rub people the wrong way. Nobody in the top 10, certainly in the top 5, needs Paddy to give them a rub. Dustin Poirier, Islam Makhachev, Charles Oliveira, these are household names in mixed martial arts. What's your thoughts on Paddy the Baddie? Let me know below. That wraps up all the MMA water cooler talk for another day. Thanks for watching Undisputed MMA, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to keep up with the latest news and stories in the UFC and across MMA.